Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome to the studio, and today, quite an important video, something that I really need to talk about. Yo, Cavan, you are getting this all wrong, okay? A YouTuber apology video should consist of 3 parts, okay? Part 1 is turning on the camera and then leaving that in when you edit the video. Part 2 is the dramatic pause and sigh, that takes a bit of practice. And then part 3 is shifting the blame entirely onto someone else. Okay, you want to make yourself look as good as possible, alright? So let's go for a take 2. You ready? No, you are not my director. What on earth are you doing? Well, what am I then? You're comic relief at best. Alright, well, I mean, what did you even do? Alright, well, to cut a long story short, essentially, the other day I posted a tutorial video for this trick where a corner of playing card melts through a phone. A little visual creation of mine, something I've been playing with for about a year, and a couple of hours after I posted it, I get a message from Lloyd Barnes, a very talented Welsh magician, and he lets me know that he had already published this effect with Illusionist many years prior, something that I completely didn't know about, a trick called Icon. And when I watched the video, yeah, you can see they are the same effect, and I was completely unknowingly revealing a trick that was already on the market. This was a complete coincidence on my part. I had no idea that this existed. It completely flew under my radar when researching the trick, and I genuinely believed it to be original. But it turns out that Lloyd had already come up with it first. Ho, hypocritical much? You make all these videos talking about the morals of teaching good magic and crediting other magicians and slandering me for revealing Shin Lim's dream act, even though you know full well I helped him invent it. And then what, you just reveal another magician's trick without permission? Cavan, I expected better. Can I please just make this video? Yeah, sure, I mean, you're the one who scripted this bit to make the video a bit lighter. Alright, don't get all meta on me. I'm the one that's editing this, you know, I can just cut you out completely. Right. Okay, so Lloyd messaged me, he said, this is the same as Icon from a few years ago, and I didn't know about it. Now, I knew that I had to take the video down. I mean, initially I was a bit gutted. I mean, just because you spend a long time making a video, filming it, editing it, releasing it, I thought it was a really good trick. I thought that I was giving the community something really good. And yeah, it was just generally a bit annoying. Not just the fact that I had to take the video down, but the fact that I had accidentally contributed to a culture that I never want to be a part of, and a culture that I've openly called out in the past and said is wrong, taking away from other creators' livelihoods. And the fact that I had accidentally played into that made me feel very guilty. So although I apologised to Lloyd privately in the DMs, I do want it known that I am very sorry, and I removed the video as soon as I could. So this raises a few interesting questions though, which is why I wanted to jump on camera and talk about it, because this isn't an issue that's going to go away. The whole idea of crediting and getting the creators right, and personal creations and public domain creations, and the morals of teaching magic is something that I'm really fascinated with, because I think it's such an important issue when it comes to magic. Tutorials in general are one of the hardest bits of content to make. And there's been many instances, not just with myself, but lots of other creators, where there's been a clashing of opinions of who created which trick first, or who owns the right to a trick. Is it the first person to publish it, or is it the first person to come up with the idea? I mean, there's been so many examples of this. Daniel Madison and Jay Sankey were fighting over a torn corner effect, ironically. Lloyd Barnes had the whole FU2 drama, and I'm sure there was another illusionist thing where you tear 2 cards and they restore like the wrong way round. I know there was a whole drama about that involved several magicians all jumping on the bandwagon to say that they had come up with the effect first. Lots of people have different opinions about it. First of all, there's the opinion that if you publish it first, you are in the right, and in this case that was the logic I was using. Lloyd had published this with Illusionist years ago. He had stamped his name on the effect, and in my opinion, I didn't want to be the one to be seen to be copying that. Although it was a genuine coincidence, he only has my word for it. I could have copied that, and so I had to step down and accept he published it first, it's his idea ultimately. And then there's the opinion that if you come up with the idea first, that it's yours. And in this case, Lloyd also came up with the idea first, but let's imagine I'd come up with this 10 years ago, and Lloyd had come up with it 8 years ago, but he published it first. where would the moral line be? It's a bit of a grey area. Yes, it's my idea and I came up with it first, but he released it first in this made-up example. So what would the boundary be? It's a complicated issue. Then, of course, there's the opinion that it doesn't matter who publishes or releases it first or creates it first. If you come up with something independently, it is yours. It is just as much yours as it is anyone. I can't speak. Then there's the opinion that if you create something independently, it's just as much yours as it is everyone else who also created it independently. So, I mean, there's a story, I'm sure, that Peter Turner came up with the double lift when he was first practicing magic. Just by playing around with cards, he found out you could turn over 2 cards as one. So, in a way, the double lift is just sort of his, using this logic. He came up with it independently, so why isn't he credited for the double lift? Well, obviously because other magicians have come up with it in the past, yada yada. But it is interesting, and with more complicated magical principles, and especially in magic, I think it's so difficult because magic is so subtle. Magic is about the tiniest little things, and there's so many different types of magic. How do we quantify it? How do we calculate it? And how do we understand that other magicians have copied it, if that makes sense? I don't know what this hand movement is, but that's just the worldwide symbol for understanding something clearly. This is a really interesting topic. Maybe it's just me, maybe it's because of this recent sort of situation I've got myself into. But also, another thing I just want to say is that I'm glad this didn't turn into drama. Because sometimes, I don't like drama, I don't like, when people publicly throw insults at each other. I've said in the past, I think it's a bit childish. And I'm glad it didn't turn into this, because it could easily have done. If I was another magician who was stubborn and stuck by the fact that I came up with corner through phone independently and therefore I will keep the video up and it is 100% mine, there could be a real clashing there and it could get public, it could get nasty as it has done in the past with other magicians, and that's a shame. I mean, that is a shame because magicians are all representing magic, and if they're doing that in a bad name, they're giving magic a bad rep. So I'm glad that didn't happen, and I'm glad that me and Lloyd were able to just sort this privately and move swiftly onwards with great respect for each other. So big thumbs up to Lloyd. Alright, so I think I'm going to wrap this video up. Thank you so much to Lloyd Barnes. One last thank you for just generally being a legend. And thank you to you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to click the thumbs up button down below on your way out of this video. That massively helps me out. And if you're new, feel free to subscribe and join the channel. And make sure to leave a comment as well to let me know your thoughts on this situation. I want to open up a little conversation because I know a lot of people are going to have thoughts about this. So I think that's everything. I will see you very soon. If you are already subscribed to this channel, make sure to click the link in the description and head over to my other YouTube channel, which is nearly at 200 subscribers already. There's going to be a load more content on there. Some of it experimental, some of it the sort of stuff that might not fit on this channel. So yeah, I look forward to making videos over there and over here and everywhere, and I will see you very soon. I mean, I don't know about you, but that was really dull.